Hello students, today you're going to take Cornell notes on levers in the human body. In this video you're going to learn more how levers are inside the human body. Last time you got introduced into the idea of what a lever was. So let's begin. So the human body is built in a way that maximizes the simple machine called a lever. If you forgot what a lever is, it just has three basic parts. It has a fulcrum, it has a load, and it has effort. A fulcrum is where a rigid piece like your bone, let's say your arm, or a piece of wood can sit on. That's the fulcrum, and it can move there. And then the energy comes here, or it's called the effort. And then some sort of weight that it wants to pick up. And you can rearrange these three things, the fulcrum, the effort, and the load. You can rearrange them in three ways. And our body does rearrange them in different ways to move us in different ways. Okay, so for the first one, I'll just say the question, you just copy it. You can say, the human body uses what? The answer could be, of course, levers to help us move. Or you can also write, how do levers help us humans? Okay, let's move on to number 2. For number 2, write a first-class lever. A first-class lever is where the fulcrum is in the middle. So fulcrum is the part where the lever tilts, like this right here, this blue triangle. Your neck would be an example of a fulcrum. And then the muscles here provide the energy to move your head up, and these muscles over here provide the energy to move your head down. So that's a lever, your neck, your head on your neck. All right, come up with a question for 2. And then here's an example. I want you to write the example today. Your head sitting on your neck would be a first-class lever. Okay, number 2. A second-class lever is a lever where the load is near the fulcrum. Standing on your toes would be an example. Just look at this picture more in depth. So here's the fulcrum, and here's the load, and here's the effort. Slightly different from this top one. So here's the fulcrum and a second-class lever. Your toes can act as a fulcrum. And then the effort comes from your muscle here in the back, and then the load or the weight is in here. The example you can write is standing on your toes. Go ahead and come up with a question for number 3. All right, let's move on to number 4. A third-class lever would be where the lever has the effort near the fulcrum. An example would be your arm. So let's look at this little tiny picture here. And you can draw these if you want, so that you can remember them, but it's optional. So here's the fulcrum, here's the effort, and here's the load. So you can see that third-class levers and second-class levers are opposite of each other. Here's the load in this one, and here the effort is in this one. So these kind of switch spots. Here, these switch spots. And here's a picture of all three. The one we just saw, the third-class lever, is like in your arm right here. The fulcrum would be your elbow. Something that you would carry would be the load here. And then the energy or the force is coming through here. Okay, go ahead and come up with your final question, and then don't forget your summary and advanced question. Have a good day. Move on to the next step.